Hello, welcome to your meditation practice as part of the Open Heart Project. My name is Susan Piver, and I'm very happy to give you meditation instruction and sit with you. We're going to sit together for 10 minutes, and we're going to start soon. So please take your seat, whether you're on a cushion or in a chair, both are fine. And as you get settled, I want to share with you a question that I received from one of you and try to offer a useful answer to the best of my ability. Last week, I asked you what you guys wanted to hear about, and why didn't I do that like 2 years ago? Because you came up with some fantastic questions that I'm very, very happy to answer. And if you have questions or topics that you'd like me to address in these videos, you can do one of two things. You can enter your question in the comments below this post, or you can click on the link to my Ask Susan podcast, and there's a phone number that you can call and record your question, and I'll use it in my podcast, which would be super awesome and useful to me. So, but either way is fine. So here's the question. It comes from B. B says, I would like to know about emptiness. I feel like I understand it, but when I get there, I find it terrifying, like there's no anchor from me to the world, and to let go would be to disintegrate, like it is the last great attachment. Excuse me. Is it something in me that I need to let go of? How to get to the other side of this fear? Is there really peace on the other side? Is it normal to be afraid of this at first? Thank you. Well, thank you, B, for your very soulful, deep and probing questions. Questions that have been addressed over the last 2,500 years by Buddhist scholars, geniuses, sages, gurus, pundits, experts with minds far, far greater than my own. And I am not being humble when I say that. However, you have asked me, so I'm going to do my best to offer you some insights into these questions. So first, I would like to know about emptiness. If you know anything about Buddhism, and you don't have to, you might have heard, oh, in Buddhist thought, everything is said to be empty, which is very difficult to comprehend. Although being that says in her next sentence, I feel like I understand it. So already you're ahead of the game, so that's fantastic. I'm not sure I do, but here's what I can say about it. When Buddhists say all phenomena are empty, they don't mean all phenomena are dead or null or lifeless. It's easy to get confused about that. What does it mean then? It means one could say that all phenomena, myself, you, this piece of paper, my iPhone, are empty of independent existence. Meaning, I'll take myself for an example, because here I am. I didn't get here in a spaceship, and nobody developed me in a petri dish, and I would not be here if it was not for my parents, who would not be here if it wasn't for their parents, and so on and so forth. So that I am here is dependent on causes and conditions that are not connected to myself as I sit here right now in any maybe obvious way. But without those causes and conditions, I would not be present. There is no way, absolutely no way. So in this sense, I, Susan Piver, am empty of independent existence. That's what is meant by emptiness. At the same time, here I am. I'm right here. And I don't feel empty. And, you know, if I poked myself, I don't think I would find nothing. So it's important to also remember that in Buddhist thought, while all phenomena are said to be empty, you know, even like this piece of paper, which didn't get here also in a spaceship, it came from a tree, which came from the earth, which came from some seeds and some sunshine and water and so on. So this piece of paper is also empty of independent existence. At the same time, I'll use myself as an example again. In Buddhist thought, yes, I am empty, but I am also luminous. Emptiness and luminosity are inseparable. So while I don't exist, according to one way of looking at things, meaning I don't exist independently of the causes and conditions that gave rise to me, I'm right here. And if someone else was right here, saying the same exact words as me, even wearing my same fabulous outfit, it would feel different because their luminous quality would be different than my luminous quality. So emptiness, luminosity, inseparable from each other. So I hope that's useful. Then she goes on to say she finds it scary. Like there's no anchor from me to the world, and to let go would be to disintegrate. Is it something that I need to let go of? How to get to the other side of this fear? Well, there is no other side. So you can stop worrying about that. There is no, here is where things, I'm afraid, and if I can just let go of certain notions that I have, I will go to this other place where I feel no fear. There is no such place. There's only right here. This is it. This is it. This is samsara and nirvana, inseparable from each other. And we may see it as scary and samsaric, meaning circular and painful, because we don't have the right view. Whereas if we just changed our view a little bit, like put on a different pair of glasses or whatever, we would suddenly see that what we find terrifying is actually not. And there's no way to think your way into this. There's no way that thinking about it is going to get you to understand what any of this means. And of course, it can be scary to start to think, well, if I try to find myself, I can't really find, me. Am I my arm? Am I my foot? If I took off my limbs, would I still be Susan? If I had a different heart, I had a heart transplant or a brain transplant, would I still be Susan? Where am I? Most of us think, or I'll say I think, that I exist, Susan, there's a little Susan behind my eyeballs looking out. And I'm actually in here somewhere. This is the casing. But if I took out my eyeballs, which I do not intend to do, and my face, there's no one back there. There's no one back there. Where am I? So these are the kinds of questions that can be interesting on one hand, but also scary on the other. Because, I'll tell you from personal experience, the more you look, where am I? Who am I? Where is my nature? Where is my existence? Who am I? Where is my identity? I can't find anything. That can feel weird. So yeah, I understand that it can be scary. The advice is to relax. Just relax. Because you can't think your way through this. You can just continue the exploration, which includes fear, includes insight, includes your genius, includes your confusion. Stay with yourself, which is another way of saying relax. And for those moments where it gets very scary, I will share with you the advice or the insight offered by the Tibetan meditation master Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, who said about your fear, the bad news is you're falling through the air, nothing to hold on to, and no parachute. That's what it can feel like when you try to find, who am I? So the bad news is you're falling through the air, nothing to hold on to, no parachute. The good news is there is no ground, so you can relax. So I offer you these words with the hope, sincere and deep, that they may be helpful to you and useful in your exploration. And thank you again for your question B. And now let's practice that relaxing that I was talking about, which is also called meditation. Relaxing here meaning being with yourself as you are. That's the ultimate in relaxation. So here we go. We can begin our practice by relaxing our body, which means letting ourselves land on the meditation cushion. Like, feel the bottom half of your body, the waist down, heavy and solid and holding you in place. At the same time, we can feel the buoyancy and sort of upward rising of our torso and limbs. So you can feel simultaneously the heaviness of our lower half and the sort of lightness of our top half. And let that be the way it is. We can relax our minds by saying to ourselves, now is my time to meditate. And I'm not going to be here, there, and someplace else. I'm going to be right here. This is what I'm doing. That is relaxing, rather than the anxiety of being 10 places at once. Commit. Now is my time for meditation, and everything else can wait. If you're on the floor, your legs are crossed loosely in front of you. And if you're in a chair, please sit with your feet flat on the floor. And rest your hands palms down on the legs, just above the knee or at mid-thigh. And the hands aren't working. They're just resting. So you can just let them be. Sit up straight and feel the strength of your back body. And let your front body soften a lot. Your belly, your chest, your throat. And let the shoulders relax. The chin is tucked a little bit, so it's parallel with the ground. And the mouth is closed. But the lips and teeth can be slightly parted. Helps the jaw to relax. The breath is natural, in and out through the nose. And the eyes are open. And the gaze cast down to a spot 3 to 6 feet in front, or whatever's comfortable for you. And let the eyes be soft. And the crown of the head reaches up a little bit. Feel your body breathing. And let your attention rest on the breath. Feel the inhale and feel the exhale. And let the mind just settle on the breath as best you can. This is relaxing. Rather than thinking about a billion things at once, just breath. And if you notice that you become absorbed in thought, it's fine. Say to yourself, silently thinking. You don't have to try to stop thinking. But when you notice you're absorbed, label it, thinking, let go, and gently come back to the breath. And take a fresh start. You can always take a fresh start. So we'll sit together. Thank you so much for your practice, and thank you so much for practicing together.